The first thing you should know about my friend Andrew is that he doesn't like talking about comedy. Although he was literally the person who encouraged me a few years ago to give it a shot, although he used to come out with me late at night to see my stand-up and also to watch the development of other local comics, although he professed to love the scene and subculture back then, at this point in time, he doesn't want to talk about it. The next thing you should know about Andrew is that he keeps trying to get me to tell my jokes on this podcast. For various reasons, I keep refusing, mostly. And when I do consent to share a punchline, it doesn't go well. He rates the jokes with a critical eye, and he's unimpressed, even though the material kills in front of a live audience. Seasoned performers know damned well not to give up the gold on demand. We're not trained monkeys. Context matters. And so until further notice, I will stick to my guns. No jokes on the podcast. Dear listener, if you want to hear all the funny stuff, you know where to find me.
The first thing you should know about my friend Mrs. Filholm is that she has a tremendously good memory and she can quote shows and songs from decades past. She remembers tiny moments at the drop of a hat. Mrs. Filholm remembers everything, right down to the strangest detail. For example, Mrs. Filholm remembers that she had been mixing concrete on the same day that she met my mother for the first time. Who remembers that kind of thing? The next thing you should know is that I can't keep up. While I'm trying to remember whether her last remark was a reference to some work of classic literature or perhaps an obscure quote from Parks and Rec, Mrs. Filholm has already moved on and alluded to 3 more things that I've forgotten. We sometimes joke about my bad memory, but who can keep up with Mrs. Filholm?
Welcome to Half My Age, a weekly show in which a 25-year-old adult and a 50-year-old child help each other make sense of the world.
Good one. I have a lot of questions about that.
Okay.
Did something recently happen that I said that you realized you weren't keeping up? Did I make some references and skip by you?
Literally all the time. Okay. The only difference is I've started, I can't say that I've listened to all of our last couple episodes, but I've been listening to more of them. And I spend so much time thinking about what you just said that I forget to keep listening, you know?
Oh, that's so sad.
I'm a bad listener.
No, you're not. Well, you kind of are. And you don't remember a damn thing. Okay,
I think based on your cold open and where this is headed right now, I think this is the airing of grievances. It's kind of holiday season.
It is. I was going to do, one of my cold opens is about Festivus.
Is it?
Yeah, I have options this week. But one of them was about how we keep one holy day together.
If you do that next week, will it be too late?
No, it's the 23rd.
Oh, perfect.
Of December. So I think this podcast will come out very beginning, December 1, 2. Why does it feel like airing of grievances? What?
Because you're hating on me about comedy.
I wasn't hating. I'm just saying I'm not doing it. I'm not that like I also listen to our stupid show and I hear myself telling like a kind of joke that's pretty funny and gets actual laughs every night and you were like, I give it a B-. It's like that literally comics know better than that. It's like wasn't one of the guys we heard at the show the other night said that like, would you come up to me and go do dentistry? You know what I mean? People, it's like the thing like
no,
we know better
it was
I know.
pilot.
I know.
Well, when I met him, he was on the ground. So
fictionalized it. But right. You know what I mean? Like we know better than to tell our jokes off the dais. Like literally I've been at the hang and somebody will say like, you know, they're joking, whatever.
I don't know, Filholm. You don't seem that funny to me.
I know. That's the other thing. You don't think I'm that funny. So you were the one who freaking encouraged me. Whatever. That's my zipper. I'm getting warm here in the studio. That's weird.
Just a minute ago, you were lamenting the fact that your heated blanket doesn't seem to be working.
I am very annoyed with that, but I don't need it right now. I still wanted it to work. I hate that it's not working. Okay.
A little chilly on
this
side.
We'll just sit in your luxury over there with your curtain is open.
Uh-oh. I hope it's not affecting
my
sound.
Jonah. It is affecting your sound. Every single thing affects the sound. As I know, I have been in here for hours on end recording my audiobook.
How's it going?
How's
the
almost
progress?
Finished.
Yeah.
Almost finished. And sweet Jonah. Hey, Jonah. Thanks. I mean, seriously, it is a tedious job taking out all the breaths and stuff. But it's actually, now that it's almost finished, I love it. While I was halfway through this book, I was going, I don't even think I ever want to do this again, ever.
It's kind of the creative process, huh?
Yeah. Totally.
When you stop halfway and you think nothing I've ever done is good, and this is the worst of all of them.
Jeez, for real, for real. And yeah, that partly that, and also just the grind of it. It's a slog. But now that, like I said, now that I'm almost done, I'm like, woohoo! Today I get to finish the last 2 chapters, and then I'll have it finished. So thanks to Jonah for mastering our awesome, awesome sound.
Jonah the master.
For real. Okay. The other thing is, I do have a funny memory, and you're cold open. Wait, are you giving me shit? You said this is airing of grievances?
No, you're airing your grievances about Andrew. Today is the Hate on Andrew show.
No, it's not. I don't hate on Andrew. It makes me feel bad, Andrew. That's my greatest fear is that I'm too much. And then you say that you can't keep up with me. It's like, yeah, no, I know. And that seems in the world of being single at age 51.
Well,
that feels like, yeah, no, you're right. I know I'm too much for everybody.
It's more complimentary than
is it?
It is. It is. But you just said being at age 50 and single, you're looking at it through a different lens.
Yeah, because
we talked about looking at things through different lenses the last time we talked about dating. Maybe I don't remember.
Filters.
We
talked about filters. On
yeah,
Hinge.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, my fear is that I am too much. This is a known thing, and that no one out there can keep up with me. And it's complimentary from you, you say, but you don't have to live with me. And also, of course, I remembered, how could you not remember that you had mixed concrete with your bare hands the day that you met Andrew's mother? Both of those are significant experiences. I burned my skin on my hands. Remember that?
That's a good PSA we should put out there. You should not mix concrete barehanded.
Don't mix concrete barehanded. It says it on the back. Of course it does. And I thought it was a suggestion, because of course everybody says you shouldn't take a thing out of a dye bath without gloves on. And I'm like, whatever. My skin, I don't care if it turns a little purple. Get it done. I don't like to wear gloves for anything that maybe you should. And so I thought it was a suggestion, but I didn't really. What is it? Lime? In the concrete?
I have no idea.
Yeah, we talked about it with your mom at lunch that day.
I was so
burned the skin on my hands.
My current distraction, another YouTube rabbit hole, is This Old House, and they've got like, I don't think they have every episode, but it's been on the air for 40 seasons.
Yeah.
And you can watch This Old House for days before you ever come across the same piece of content.
Sure.
It's insane.
Sure.
And I was just learning about how you make cement, and it's 3 parts sand, 2 parts aggregate, and 1 part Portland cement, whatever that means. And I don't know, I guess the mystery in that, the sand is sand, the aggregate is big rocks, and the Portland cement, that is the mystery. Is that lime? I don't know.
Well, I think it's a knowable thing. Lord only knows.
See, you've got some serious Andrew beef today.
I do not. You know what is true though? That Andrew, this might be part of it. I'm looking it up here, but for real, one thing I have noticed in the land of stand-up comedy, and I really don't want to talk more about it. I really don't. But my God, the insult factory. You can't do anything. I mean, you get mocked for everything, and I have been mocked in the past week a couple of times for a couple of things, and you kind of go, whoa, someone says it from the stage, and then they walk off stage, and there's no problem. They don't care. One of them is I ran my light, and I didn't mean to, and I seriously didn't see it, and I ran the light, and I would never do that. I mean, seriously, that is just
Excuse me, ma'am, do you know how fast you're going there?
Dick move. Me right now?
When you ran the light.
Oh, no, not that light. Oh, yeah, that's what that's called, running a light. I think of, anyway. And the guys, he like roasted me on stage for it. And then when I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, that is such a dick move. And they were like, I don't care. Couldn't matter less. Doesn't matter. But they're going to give you like, so maybe I'm just in the insult. And it's always like, that's how you know they love you. If you get insulted, that's a good thing. So maybe I'm just in that. Maybe I'm feeling especially loving towards you today, Andrew.
Perhaps. There was one time, I think we talked about it on air, where you were so excited because they made fun of you.
I know.
And I still think that's so funny.
I know. It was back in January, and I went, oh my God, I'm getting somewhere here, and I am. What are concrete additives? How come we can't find it?
It is actually, if you go to the Wikipedia for Portland Cement, look in the show notes, not you personally, but dear sweet listener, it's developed from hydraulic lime in England.
See? Portland cement or concrete?
Portland cement.
And you've put that in show notes, have you?
No, I have not yet, but I will.
The way I'll do it. I got it. Okay, so the PSA is that you should not mix concrete with your bare hands. It actually probably gave the appearance of youth. It was like a chemical peel for my hands. I realized it as I was mixing it. I went, this doesn't feel right. And then I went and finished the job with gloves. But it did give me a little chemical peel. I mean, seriously, that's the kind of thing you pay a lot for in a spa. I could just make that. I don't know.
Maybe that's what you should do.
Mm-hmm.
We were brainstorming some ideas to scare up some cash.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you got it.
And you've got a nice line of holiday pottery with swear words on them.
Mm-hmm.
And you could also sell chemical peels.
Yeah, exactly.
You could go to Home Depot and get a 50-pound bag of chemical peel.
Right, right. And then put it into little, like a drug dealer, like split it up and put it in little baggies.
Mason jars.
Little mason jars. Make it cute.
Mason jars.
Sure. You're a little hostile today.
It's going to be a silly one.
It's stupid. And it's still 9:30 in the morning. Okay, I have some follow-up. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, please.
The first one is that last week I very quietly went back on Hinge. I did not tell you. I did not tell my other comics. I didn't really tell anybody because I realized that my attitude about it was pretty bad, which we have heard unfold on this podcast. I seriously went back on and took it a little bit, not more seriously, just like I don't need to treat it like a joke, right? I am interested still in meeting people my own age to hang out with. And that's the other thing that I realized. I was on Hinge for 6 days, off it for a week or two, and then I went back on. And part of it was I realized, I'm serious, I don't have people my own age that I'm hanging out with. I'm hanging out with all these young comics, and it's wonderful, but my God. So I went, all right, I'm going to be a little more intentional about it and whatever. So I go back on. I'm there like, I think it was the second day, and you're texting people back and forth, messaging back and forth. And you were setting up for our podcast 1 week ago. You were sitting right there. I was sitting right here. This guy messaged me via Hinge and said, "What are you doing today?" And I said, "About to record a podcast." And he had already seen that I do recording or whatever. And he said, "Oh, if you don't mind telling me, whatever, what's the subject of your podcast?" Like, who doesn't have a podcast, right? And I just sent him the link, and he goes, "Listening now." And I'm like, "Oh, adorable." So then I put my phone away. We recorded for like an hour. And when I went back, I was completely blocked on Hinge. And the episode that came out that week, assuming he just went and heard the first one that came up, was absolutely when I first went. So I'm on Hinge and I'm being a jerk about it. And I've passed my phone around to the other comics. Oh, no. And
and now, so his worst fear has been realized. You're talking about him on the air right now.
I don't know who he is. I don't even remember the guy's name, right? I don't even remember. He blocked me, like disappeared me, man. I am canceled. So there you go. Again, with your opening, do you think I'm a little bit too much? Probably. I'm a jerk. I'm out there talking. Oh, my God. So that's funny, Andrew. That was my Hinge follow-up. I mean, it's so kind of perfect.
That is funny.
And you know what? Freaking great litmus test. I should tell everyone, listen to my podcast and listen to especially that episode. If you can't handle it, you should cancel me.
It's doubly funny because you were on Hinge, the apology tour. You were going to give it a real shot. You weren't going to make a joke about it. And then immediately, boom.
I was on the Hinge apology tour. Exactly. I didn't even tell anybody that I was on it again. I was just going to write apology tour.
When we used to apologize to pop culture?
Yes.
Do you have anything you'd like to say to pop culture?
I thought of that recently. Well, no. I don't apologize because I still think it's a joke. That's my follow-up on Hinge.
I noticed today, other follow-up, I noticed today that when I walked into your house, you had a pound cake.
Yeah, Andrew.
And it was just out on the counter, which tells me that you don't have mice currently.
Yes, that's a good point.
Right?
Yeah. I baked it real late at night, so it was mostly just cooling. And then, as you saw, it stuck to the pan, and it sucked. And I'm pissed. I made a bad freaking pound cake.
It tastes delicious.
I know, right? I'll just crumble it up. Actually, you can crumble that stuff up and make a nice crust of something. Mm-hmm. But now I'm challenged. It was my first cake I baked at my house, so that makes me sad that it didn't work. So I might have to redo it today. Just show myself that I can. You know what I mean?
It was a pound cake? Uh-huh. Which is pound of butter, pound of sugar, pound of flour?
Eggs. Uh-huh.
Pound of eggs?
Uh-huh. Dozen eggs.
Huh. I've never made one of those, but that seems like a fun project.
It's a good one. It's a good project, Andrew.
Do you have a stand mixer?
No, I don't. And I never really, I have, God, I wonder if Tal has it. We had one. I wonder if I have it. I don't think I have it. But anyway, I rarely use it. I'm a hand mixer girl, always have been.
Right now, it's stand mixer season at Costco, and every time I look at one of those, I get a little yearning.
I bet.
And I know that I cannot have one because I have no room for one.
That's exactly right.
And that,
you can have a nice looking one that just sits on your counter.
I could, but then that's
Whiskers would lick it.
No, that's 3 square feet of space that I will never have back.
It's true story. Yeah. I know. Oh, I know. Stand mixers. I don't care about it. I prefer hand mixer. Always have.
Right now, we've talked about it. I'm in tool acquisition phase of my life.
Correct. Do you have a hand mixer?
No hand mixer, but I have a wheel balancing tool for my motorcycle wheels. Like right now, I'm filling in. I'm not even filling in gaps. I'm just sending scouts down different tool areas, and none of the tools are related or whatever. And I have not made it to hand mixer or stand mixer.
Got it. Interesting. You guys
mostly all my bread is hand kneaded.
Sure, but that's normal for bread. Do you make cookies or anything like that where you need to whip it up and?
I don't think I've made cookies from scratch since I left my parents' house.
Oh, funny.
We every now and again we'll have a treat yourself night and we'll go get those take and bake. The
little logs.
Now they come in a sheet.
Oh, a sheet.
And you break them apart.
Gross.
They're delicious.
No, they're not.
They're delicious.
They taste okay. Agree to agree. They're delicious. You're right. See, I'm so agreeable.
You are agreeable.
I want to tell you something I saw on the way to the dollhouse. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Honest to God. Oh, but last night, two things. Last night, my little alley camera notification notified me on my phone that there was someone live in my alley, and there sure was, and I saw him, and then I heard the alarm go beep, beep, like it does, and there he sat, and then I got on the speaker, which I can do live.
What did you say?
I said, it was kind of dumb. I realized what I'm going to do in the next is just like say, I'm going to try to make it sound automated, like the police are on their way or something like that. You know what I mean? Notified the police, Denver Police Department.
You've got that professional voice worker voice.
Well, I did this. I tried to make my voice sound like masculine and big, and I said, please. I said something like, please keep going, or please, whatever.
Move along.
Move along. I might have said, please move along, please, move along, please. And I said it like as big and husky as I could. Seemed to have no effect on this guy. It was snowing. He was there. I'm pretty sure he was shooting up. I mean, I saw the whole thing. I was watching it live.
But it's on camera.
His arm. It is on camera. But I mean, it's so blurry. I couldn't tell. I mean, anyway, I called the non-emergency line because it's like so much lately has been crazy in this neighborhood. I mean, always, but it just seems particularly goofy lately. So I just called him to make sure we'd get another patrol. And by the time they got here, I mean, he was gone. I watched him leave. But it was just so weird. I was watching him live, and I'm like, right on my garbage cans. If I wanted to leave my house right now, it would make me super nervous. Like, just what am I going to confront? This is a person who did not respond to a beeping siren thing, a flashing red light, a voice. Yeah.
A voice seemingly from heaven.
Seemingly from hell. The bowels of hell, it came out.
You clearly you haven't done enough to deter this kind of behavior, and you need your mural of the Virgin Mary.
I know, right? Exactly right. And you know,
with very disapproving eyes. Give her just these Mary. That's
very disapproving.
Kind of like, what do you call that Jesus that's all like thumbs up Jesus or whatever?
I don't know.
There's a meme, and whenever we did reports in religion class, we were never allowed to use thumbs up Jesus.
Oh, really? I don't know
it. That in the same kind of genre, we should have Disapproving Mary.
Thumbs up Jesus. I love that. Oh, thumbs up Jesus. There's several of them. Which one? Oh, that's funny. That might be our show art. I don't know about that because I wasn't a Catholic school child. Oh, there's winking Jesus.
It's this one. It's not thumbs up. It's fingers.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I see him there. Jesus. Yeah, I see that right there. Oh, okay, funny. That just reminded me of, we used to do prayer in class at the beginning of each class, and I stuck to it because that was my mandate. And for different times I did different things, but there was at one point a prayer calendar, like it was your day to lead the prayer, and people did different things, fine, right? And there was one time that these senior boys, one of them got away with it one time. Filholm, can I play a song, please? And I said, yes, you may. Singing is praying twice, young man. Do you know what song they played?
No.
Is this a known trick? Because in that class it was, can I play Our God is an Awesome God? Because the song's like 7 minutes long. That's the joke. So they put it on and it's playing. I mean, I got it. And I shut it off. But they were just, they came in with such zeal, Andrew. And they had a good song about God, and they were going to play it. And then I realized I'd been had. Little shits. Okay, that just made me laugh.
That is funny.
Memes have been making me laugh this week. Okay, so that was one thing on my way to the dollhouse. Second thing, Saturday overnight, from like 1 to 3 in the morning, I would say, I heard this vroom, like someone seriously gunning their engine, but I mean again and again and again. And it sounded like the same vehicle. And I never got up and went like out and tried to really assess what was going on. Like, was this somebody gunning it around our block, or it was somebody going down 14th or whatever? I couldn't figure it out exactly. Then I got up at 3 to go to the bathroom, and I see through the blinds in my living room the red and blue flashing lights of the police. So I open my blinds a little bit. There is a truck being towed away, and there's a truck that has driven off the road almost into a tree, just stopped short of hitting a tree, made huge grooves in the lawn.
Wow.
Hit 2 other cars, totaled one of them, and hit the mirror off the other. Almost ran into a tree. Driver absconded.
Wow.
Damn, son. Something is always shaking on Shakedown Street. Like, why? Right in front of my house. Like, 2 houses down.
Do you know the crazy
Craziness.
thing? You live in an area where that kind of thing happens, and I bet that your street is no worse than the street, the next parallel.
I know.
That kind of stuff is happening all the time. If you get an incident like that every other week,
seriously, must be.
There's got to be 3 a day in your neighborhood.
Yeah, absolutely. And how weird. How weird. So, there you have it. That was what I saw on the way to the dog. That's what I saw in the middle of the night. You know what? Speaking of my camera, I could look at if there was somebody zooming. I don't know if my camera actually records I think it does. Actually archives everything that I can access. I know that it shows me. I can easily access events. Like if it gets triggered, it records it. So I'm not sure.
Triggered like a millennial.
Yes. Okay, boomer. All right. What else you got, Andrew?
I wanted to tell you about your cameras. I know on other cameras, one of the features they will sell you, one of the, services you can pay for is more record time. Mm-hmm. So, if you want to look back a week or whatever, that's going to cost, it's a different plan than if you want to look back 24 hours.
Mine saves it for a month.
But it might not be recording constantly is what you're telling me.
That's not what that's on. I'm not sure. Yeah. But whatever it records, I have it. My plan includes a month on that little port thing that sits in my office.
Your office?
Well, right now, what that room is, it's my yoga room closet, and right now it's called the Self-Promotion Factory.
Andrew. Oh, we're talking about different room. I thought you were talking about the thing in the front, the thing with the big screen on it.
The thing with the big screen on it?
On the wall in your living room. I thought that's what you were talking about. The panel where you control and you punch in your code. But that's not what you're talking about. You're talking about you got some kind of box in the office. Oh,
right. I have both. Sorry. I have a panel, but the actual thing where it says that it records is this thing that sits in the office and it's plugged in near the modem. And it was a separate thing if I wanted that recorded for a month.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. That really got confusing. Sheesh.
Who could keep up?
I mean, that was you. You were way ahead of me on that one. You're so smart. Okay. What else?
Real-time follow-up. I found that Thumbs Up Jesus is actually called Buddy Christ.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've thrown Buddy Christ into the show notes.
Did you ever have a T-shirt with that guy on it? That seemed like a real good T-shirt.
I'm not really a graphic T-shirt kind of guy.
I'm not. Yeah, you wear that, John. You wear the Roderick on the Line T-shirt. It looks good.
I wore it yesterday underneath the sweater.
Oh, that's nice.
My sweater game, I went to the Sam's Club, and I got 2 new sweaters. I'm wearing one of them right now. It's very nice.
That's Sam's Club sweater?
Yeah, $20 Eddie Bauer sweater. I feel pretty good about it.
It's nice.
This is how I wear the same clothes every day until they fall apart.
You know how I do too? I need some sweaters.
This is my sweater for the next 3 months.
You know what I have on the screen right now? I'm looking at Amazon, both at new puffery vests, down vests, and a new Patagonia thing like that. But that's a pullover. I need a new one too, and I don't want to spend Patagonia money. I was thinking of asking for it for Christmas for my mother.
That's a good idea. I would also recommend Sam's Club. They've got a lot of that stuff that at prices that I can't understand where it's coming from.
Wow, you can listen to a lot of podcasts that will tell you exactly where it's coming from and why it's problematic. But yes, I understand.
But is it more problematic than the Eddie Bauer stuff you buy at the store?
Oh.
That's what I don't understand. Like, seemingly it's the same stuff, but it must not be because it's so much less expensive.
I know.
I wonder about this.
I wonder about it too.
Maybe we
I wonder about actual quality. It makes me tired though to think about that.
Maybe we could bring in a child laborer to set us straight and tell us how it works.
Okay. Did we have any topics that we wanted to discuss?
We had a lot of topics.
Mr. Bridges, did we though? Did we have a lot of topics?
Yeah, you wanted to talk about Christmas and the season because it's getting to be that way.
I just said that by the time this comes out, it'll be December. Happy December, everybody.
We've got a brilliant segue in that we're talking about gifts and Patagonias coming from your mother. What did you want to talk about Christmas?
I don't know.
Do you have something in particular?
No, not at all. I was searching for a topic. I just thought I'm so sick of hearing myself talk about crap when we don't have something pointed to talk about. Mm-hmm. And so I just looked at the calendar. When is this coming out to see if there's anything timely? And I just realized it's the 1st of December today. Happy December to our listeners. I mean it.
Happy
sincerely.
December.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that you mentioned it because that same day you said you put Christmas on the list. Mm-hmm. Somebody asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and even though it's December 1st, as people listen, or maybe later if they're naughty and they're not listening on the day this comes out, today it's actually November 21st. It seems unusually early for someone to ask you for a Christmas list, doesn't it?
Okay. First of all, you're really letting them see how the magic works. We're letting them inside.
Just disregard the smallish guy behind the curtain.
Yeah, it seems early, but in my family...
Is that how your family operates?
Everybody except me. I mean, my mom buys Christmas gifts in July.
Ooh, I like that.
You do?
I
I lose stuff. I do. I've tried to be that person and I forget I bought it. Oh no! Oh my God! No!
I think
I have been asked what my boys want for Christmas, and I don't know. And they don't want anything. You know what I mean?
Well, buying a Christmas gift in July says a lot about the person, and it says a lot about the gift. One, they are super on top of their thing. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is it doesn't really matter what phase of life this person is who's receiving the gift because it's being bought 6 months in advance.
Well, it would be things like, say, for a grandchild or a kid, right? This year for Christmas, we want to give them a scooter. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so it's on sale in July. We got it in July, whatever. It's like that. It's like when I see something on sale. But right, I mean, to my mind, like that, I don't know. Okay, the whole thing about gift giving at the holidays actually makes me, we talked about it actually on our podcast a year ago. Mm-hmm. I don't like it.
It's funny. And I thought I had a hack, which is get everyone the same thing.
Yes, right. That was your hack.
And I did it poorly last year. I didn't execute well. We got everyone a gift card to Sur La Table. Sur La Table. Uh-huh. And we mentioned that we would like to do a class. Like if we could all get together and do a class at Sur La Table, that would be super fun.
It's cute.
And then
it's an experience, Andrew.
That's right. It's an experience. Mm-hmm. If you can't make the class, you can also buy fancy dishes, right? So it's a multi-purpose gift. But I kind of dropped the ball on scheduling the class. And then if you wanted to schedule the class, that assumes that the other people who you've invited would want to do the class together, with other people. And it also assumes they even have the time to go do something like that,
Sure do.
So I gave it sounds a lot nicer to give someone a class than it does a gift card.
Yes.
But I should have just done the gift card and not mentioned.
Not attached, or you should have just done a class.
Yeah, I should have.
You should have asked right then and there, when's a date that works for everybody?
Yeah. And now at this point, some people have spent their gift cards on dishes and some people haven't.
To hell with that class. Who needs them anymore?
That's right.
Last year for everybody in my family, I got tens machines. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I sure do.
I got those for everybody.
How did, are those tens machines still in use?
By the people I gave them to? Mm-hmm. I bet they haven't ever opened them.
Do you have a tens machine you use?
Yeah, I love it.
Do you?
Do you not remember that sitting with me at the table one time at a sushi okay, sorry, it's my memory, but we were sitting there and Delaney was there too. I mean, it's recent-ish, and I pull my little thing out of the pocket to hit it. Do you not remember that?
Oh, I remember.
Okay.
You had a problem. You were going through Walgreens tens machines as if they were candy.
No, I was not.
Didn't you have some reliability issues with those tens machines?
No.
Oh, maybe I dreamt that.
The pads, you have to get new pads for them, but you just get new pads. There was a problem the last time that I went to Walgreens. I couldn't find anyway, it doesn't matter. No problems. Love it.
We're thinking about the same thing. It's a little battery. It's got leads on it, and it zaps you repeatedly over and over again.
Yes. Shocks your muscles when they're in pain. Do you know what? Right now I have a little crick in my shoulder, and I'm not kidding. You put it on there. It's magical to me. I love it for any kind of pain. So that's what I gave people, but I don't think other people are enthusiasts. And I think it was a dumb gift.
Where does the FDA come down on self-administered electroshock therapy? That seems a little dangerous.
Yeah, I know. I questioned it myself, but I like it. And I haven't checked with the FDA. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, I got something. I got something for my nieces and nephews, assuming they don't listen. Whatever. If they do, spoiler alert for your Christmas gift. One thing I got all of them and my sons is, it's so hipster. It's like bamboo utensils and straw and little straw cleaner, pipe cleaner thing in a little, bags you can carry, so you can be so green and not kill turtles.
Oh, like for a lunch kit? Like something you can take to school or work?
Yes, but you should put it in your pocket and carry it at all times so you don't ever have to use a plastic straw, Andrew.
People have made fun of me for the spork I keep in my backpack. I've got a
there you go.
It was a Christmas gift. It was a stocking stuffer from Santa Claus. And it's got a little spork, and then it's got a knife that's also like a spatula shape.
Yeah.
And they snap together. It's super nice. And
it's great.
I've used it probably, 5 times in 10 years.
Oh, really?
But I'm so glad that I've got it. It's one of those little things. Having it on board makes me happy.
Shoot. Yes,
I feel like I'm ready for anything.
Everyday carry, right. I know. So I'm giving, so see, that's a cool gift that I'm giving them then. I just saw them and I went, you know what, that's a good gift. This year, I think I'll be making a lot of gifts for people, and it's like, sorry, people. I don't, nobody needs anything. I don't need anything.
No, nobody needs anything.
You know what I mean? I don't need anything. And we have talked about that perhaps my language of love is gift giving. When it comes to Christmas, I get real surly about it.
Mm-hmm.
I just get like, it feels like an obligation. And at a certain point, it feels like we're all handing each other $20 bills, like the gift card gift. Like, wow, that's a bad attitude. I don't know why I wanted to talk about Christmas. I know. That's not, I just thought of this when you said Santa Claus. Spoiler alert to the children in the audience. I'm going to talk now about when George learned the truth of life. My sons... Okay, first of all,
it's a good thing I marked this podcast explicit.
I know, it's explicit.
By the way...
Do you want me to not say that?
No, I do want you to say it. I just want to bring up, we went to your clean comedy thing, and there was someone who was talking about Santa Claus.
Oh, was there?
Yes, I think it was the host. She was a little bit naughty.
Oh, yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. Yeah.
But that's meant to be a show for all ages?
No.
It's not.
21 to get in.
Oh, you do? For the clean comedy?
Yeah, you had to show your ID, didn't you?
I don't remember.
You sure did.
I was probably too drunk.
Oh my God. It's when you arrive. No, it's 21. It's 21 only. It's 21
that don't
only.
Matter.
20. Yeah, I understand. I understand how being drunk works.
So tell us about George.
I just want to say that's also I didn't think that her set was completely clean. And also, I mean, I went squeaky clean, and I didn't think everybody did. And I think that's just, like, there were some drug references, and they totally told us if you drug references are verboten.
There were some drug references, some racial kind of stuff. The host was talking about letting it breathe.
That one I thought, right? The host gets away with it, I guess, but I thought that was, I went, she gets away with it. She's not competing.
There were no swear words used.
No.
But it was the kind of stuff that might make, as I said in my last intro, something about a nun blushing.
Yeah.
Well, a nun would faint.
Can I got to get a drink of water, okay? I'll be right back. Make a nun faint, killing the nuns with our jokes.
When you go to cut this one together, I've started. This is I'm just trying it out today.
Okay.
But I'm putting links in and comments in the show notes document as it's happening. So we've got Portland Cement, we've got Buddy Christ, and I also put in there that at 35 minutes we took a water break, which should give you some indication that this is going to be a long pause, and you can make your cut.
You can also see the sound.
All right, fancy pants. You with your vision.
You with your working eyeballs. Oh my God, let's not be.
Ableist.
Exactly. Seriously, I don't mean to offend the blind.
The unsighted, Mrs. Filholm. Good Lord. This will never air. You're canceled. We're canceled.
Oh, come on. You're being funny.
Your face, it's, when you were laughing,
Yeah.
it was like pure tomato red.
Why?
You
Really?
you really thought that was funny.
I did. That was funny. Very funny today. Oh, good golly. Okay. Were we talking about something?
We were talking about Christmas and
Now it doesn't even seem good because the things you're saying are way funnier. Do you have any stories about Christmas that you want to tell? Do you have any funny
No, I
Christmas
don't have any
things?
particularly good stories except to say that I am the child who would do my very best to find my Christmas presents before Christmas, and I often did.
Suppose you did. Did that ruin Christmas for you?
No, I prefer I
Prefer it.
I prefer to not be surprised.
You really don't like to be surprised.
Mm-mm.
That's a true story.
It doesn't work well with planning.
Remember last year Delaney threw you a surprise birthday party?
Sure do.
That went pretty well.
We've had words.
Oh.
I loved it. It was the best thing
It was
ever.
so great.
It will never happen again.
I know.
Or else.
I mean, it was real hard for me not to tell you that because I was sort of like, he doesn't like surprises. Did I blow it? Didn't I blow it? Didn't I spill the beans somehow? I think I screwed that up.
I think you might have.
I think I screwed it up because of your high school friends, and we all saw each other, and I was trying to go through one of your high school friends.
Oh,
to just
that's
go,
right.
Could
You
you please? What do you
doing a
think,
back
you
channel.
guys? What do you think about this? Because they were all being invited to the party too. I think I spilled the beans somehow. Like
I remember who it was.
I do too. No, I remember that. I just don't want to call anybody out. But I don't even think that was it. I think maybe that was partly it. But I felt like I spilled the beans. I probably did. I ruined everything. So there you go.
That's a healthy attitude.
Sounds like me, doesn't it, Andrew? I wreck everything. Okay, so yeah, you were the kid who found your presents. You would go and search. Where were they hidden?
I can't say.
Oh, because okay.
I can't say. They were in my parents' closet.
You knew the closet. I think I did that once. I found the Atari game system, and it made me sad.
Why?
It did kind of ruin the surprise of. I like the surprise of Christmas morning, or I did when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It did ruin. I didn't look for presents after that. I was like, oh, that kind of ruined it.
That's a lot of self-control.
Well, really?
I think so.
Oh, I don't think it's that hard. Just don't think about it. Didn't you also kind of know what your parents were going to give you anyway? Usually,
Generally.
Yeah. I mean,
And
that's the funny thing about it, isn't it?
in my family, there's very little pretense about gift giving. Most of the time, people will flat out ask you, "What would you like?"
Yeah.
And everyone's pretty good about coming up with a few items.
Yeah.
Here's a list.
I need to do that. I need to be better about giving the list. In fact, that's really what I was doing on Amazon, was making a wish list of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell my boys to do it too, because I realize it's a jerk move to go, nothing, I don't want anything for Christmas. I mean, it just feels like, what do you want for Christmas? It's only my mother at this point who's asking me.
Mm-hmm.
My siblings are asking for my children. And my kids are probably jerks about it when they reach out and ask. They probably go, So they're asking me. Honestly, it's not like I'm in the big family gift-giving realm at all. I wonder what we're going to do for Festivus this year.
I don't know. Is that a tradition that survives a divorce?
I wonder, right? I think last year
Who gets the poll?
the boys got me, remember, my move-in gift, my housewarming gift was a little mini Festivus package, and I have a tiny aluminum pole. Well, Tal kept the aluminum Christmas tree. Oh, the aluminum pole was the tetherball pole, so that stays at the homestead. That's there.
So you're poll-less. You're without
I'm
a poll.
pole-less.
But
No,
you
I have one. My boys got me a little tiny one.
You do have a prime yard for adding a Festivus pole.
Heck yeah.
You don't need any tinsel. It's not like it's hard to.
I find tinsel distracting. I mean, I don't know. We didn't celebrate it last year together, as is our way, did we? We did not get together as a divorced couple and try to celebrate. I think we thought about it, right? And I think maybe it hit on the same night as your birthday party, in fact, because Tal did come to that. I don't know, but we have observed, we have kept the holiday alive in our hearts, Festivus.
You've kept it holy.
We hold that holiday, and we have kept it.
That
The
is
spirit of Festivus.
such a funny episode.
It's so perfect.
Is that the bagel one?
Yes. But you know what? That's the writing of Seinfeld, because each of the characters, right? I mean, this is not something that a million people haven't said before, but all those 4 different characters and the way they intersect, the 4 stories that go on, and that Festivus episode, it's so many things, and you go, I can't believe this is from that same episode. It's also the Two-Face. She's a Two-Face, like in Batman. If that helps you. I know every line of it, right? Because we watch it every year as a family. For the listeners at home, my family, our little family of 4, chose at some point when the kids were pretty darn young, and there were not a lot of traditions we kept every single year. Like sometimes we would be in South Dakota with Tal's family, and sometimes we were here, and some whatever. And one time we went to Maui on Christmas Day. So we knowing that we didn't have much. The one thing I just said, let's always watch the Festivus episode together, and that was how it just started. And then we started celebrating it and inviting friends and making it.
Black and white cookies are a part of
exactly. I've shipped black and white cookies from New York. I've shipped bagels. I've had H&H bagels at the party before.
Feats of Strength. I once was required to make a Pringles Ringle.
Exactly. I know, that was fun, right? The Feats of Strength. No. Yeah, that was Feats of Strength. Competitive gingerbread house decorating. That was Feats of Strength one year, right? Anyway, we had denim vests. That's also from that episode. Right. It's so many. I know. It's a beautiful episode. So anyway, that's what we did. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it this year.
Do you ever think about the religious part of the holiday? You know, people are going to be like, what do they say? The reason for the season? Mm-hmm. Have you ever considered that even though Festivus is not a canonical Catholic holiday, I don't know where I'm going with this, except to say that maybe with our new hip pope, maybe we could get Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld in what do you call those, canonized as saints. And we could add a holiday. What do you think about that, Filholm?
Well, I do want to tell you that last week when I was going off to my comedy show and I was quite nervous to perform at Comedy Works, I said to somebody, Saint Gilda Radner, protect us. And then I said Saint Barbara, because funny girl, Barbara Streisand. And I sent somebody a picture and I said, Saint Barbara, protect us. And then I said later, Saint Gilda and Saint Joan Rivers. And I went, all the funny Jews, I mean, it's true. But anyway, so I was just thinking this week about, in my mind, I canonized some Jewish people, is what I'm saying.
Well, Jesus himself was a Jew. At least he said so. That
is exactly what I said to somebody who was saying something about Jewish. I said, Jesus was a Jew. I knew a woman in New York City back in the day who grew up quite Jewish. I mean, she's long left this earth. She was an old lady back when I was in college. And she celebrated Christmas just flagrantly, and people were sort of shocked by it in the Jewish community. And she would tell people, listen, first of all, Christmas is an American holiday, and secondly, Jesus was a Jew. So that's how she justified that.
Yeah, it all fits.
Mm-hmm. Do I ever? We just wanted to talk about canonizing. Yeah, that's
right, and that's
I love that.
one of the distinctive features of Catholicism is we do have saints, but they're kind of picky and choosy about who gets to be a saint and whether or not their pinky toe healed someone of cancer.
Picky and choosy.
Seriously, though.
Yes, Andrew. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever learn about that process? You've got to have like 3 verified miracles or something like that.
It is,
which seems a little arbitrary. Why not 4? Why not 2?
Okay, I'm with you. Mm-hmm.
But surely,
it does seem arbitrary.
Surely there are some Seinfeld and Larry David related miracles that have occurred.
I mean, every week we quote them. They're a miracle in our lives, right? The miracle of the joy it has brought us alone. That counts as 2 right here, you and me. So millions. Yeah, I know. Maybe, are you saying that we need to reduce the filters on that and make it easier access for all?
I'm just saying saints? That the Mormons might be onto something with this Latter-day business.
Right.
Why does everyone have to be dead for 200 years?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's interesting. Why not? I don't know, Andrew. This is very offensive to some people. That is very.
I just really hope that at our excommunication hearing, this is not played over the loudspeaker.
I do want to say that you started by saying, do you ever think about the spiritual part of the reason for the season? I mean, yeah, teaching Catholic high school, especially I raised my kids in the Catholic Church, and I don't care who you are. This is why the holiday lands at the time of year it does. It's why every culture has a winter holiday. It's a thrill of hope. The weary world rejoices, to think that something new and full of hope is present among us, and the dark, cold times when the nights are long and the world is frozen. We have to have some warmth, and that's the joy of it to me.
It is joyous. I really enjoy the holidays, and we've mentioned that birthdays in the Bridges family there are a lot of them all together right around this time of year.
Right.
And then just after we finish up the birthdays, it's like Christmas. It is Christmas, and there's just something fun about it. There's not only is there always hope, but there's also so many things to celebrate and so much time off of work, and it's a good time of year.
Yeah, feels annoying
sometimes.
To me,
all right, Scrooge.
Okay, I know. You know what? That's the truth, right? Seriously, I think about that. Why would I am going to put up some Christmas decorations. I already have a couple little trees on my front.
Don't fall off your roof. I learned that 30% of all construction-related fatalities are people falling off roofs. Just throwing that out there. That's a This Old House. I was going
to ask, when you're watching that, did you see how to fix a roof like my leak there thing? Maybe you could help me.
I'd have to look at your roof again, but I did learn. I've watched almost every video there is on YouTube about how to put solar racks for panels on your house.
Told you I built those with my dad when I was.
And I feel like a lot of those things apply.
I would think. Are you going to build some solar panels?
No, I don't have anywhere to put them.
I know.
I live in an apartment building.
I know. But I just don't think you could sneak them up onto the. Not even sneak them. Why wouldn't you make it greener? I don't know. I know. You know what? Have you been baking sourdough bread?
I got a story about that. It's a quick one, which is that my old starter.
Yes.
It started growing mold on it.
Ooh.
And there was some comments on a sourdough forum online to support the idea that when I rinsed out the jar that was holding it, and I used just normal Dawn soap, if you don't get a good, what do you call it? When sanitize, if you don't get all the stuff out of that jar, that soap can harbor and encourage mold growth. Soap,
you say.
Isn't
that disappointing?
I mean, with a grain of salt, because this is on a forum.
Well.
But anyway, so I threw out the old starter. They said you could bring it back and you could make it work, but I just threw it out. I said, let's start fresh. It was easy enough to make one of these starters. It just takes time.
Sure.
So I've got a new starter with different flour. I'm just using plain bread flour this time instead of the whole
brown
grain. Yep. And it's going well. I have not yet made a loaf of bread with it.
Okay, great. I never made mine.
It's probably dead.
Oh, no, I know it is.
But you can bring it back.
But
you threw it? Oh, come on.
No, dude.
That's hurtful. That was a gift.
Okay, maybe I didn't. It might actually.
That's okay. I tell people all the time. Sometimes people don't want to take a gift. I'm like, just throw it away and don't tell me. I don't care. Just.
But I just told you, so I breached that contract.
You got half of it. You're like at the
half of it, right?
You're at the undergraduate level of gift receiving. You'll go full graduate when you throw it out. And
okay, Andrew, every part of me wants to bake sourdough bread, okay? Here's the thing. You sent me the instructions via YouTube video. That is not how I prefer to receive information, and I couldn't bring myself to just give it to me in a printed document. I mean, a thing I can read on a screen. You know what I mean? I can scan, so I can, you know what I mean? I do not like watching videos for information the way that you do.
Those are 5-minute videos. I cannot be bothered to watch a 5-minute video for the thing that I profess to want to do.
Isn't that weird? Because it would probably take me 5 minutes to read, right? Instructions about it in a cookbook or something. I just okay. Anyway, I can't even. I can't even. One day recently, well, not one day, every day, I paint my nails. They're so stupid. I paint my nails with 1 minute drying polish. It's supposed to dry in 1 minute, and it's pretty good at that. And it's shitty. I mean, I kind of have to do it almost every day. And see, I've got a color right now that's real neutral, so you don't notice if it chips. What I do is I paint it, but I have to be very strategic about when can I paint my nails where I can not use them for anything for 1 whole minute. And that's hard for me.
Okay, so
I try to keep my nails dry trying to keep my hands free for 1 minute. Hands still.
Can't do it.
Nope. Ding it up all the time.
I get in so much trouble. Delaney, she'll do her nails, and then for some reason that always seems to be when I want to play. Mm-hmm. And I'm like throwing her the ball and trying to get the cat to bite her or something. And she's like, my nails. And it's just
throwing her a ball. That's what you guys do when you're playing. You sit there and play catch.
It doesn't register.
Soft toss.
That as quickly as she tells me her nails are wet and she wants to be left alone, it goes out the other ear, and
That's so funny. That's so funny. Yeah. So anyway, it's hard to sit still for me, really. Are we done? We
could be. We're at 52 minutes plus a water break.
Let me ask you this.
Plus a water break.
Why did you put on... I didn't tell the story of George. It's not that good. I'm going to tell it real quick. So there was that year that my kids... Okay, I did not believe in Santa Claus when I was little by design. My mother did not allow us to believe in Santa Claus. She brought us up very much.
She wanted you to live in the truth.
Yes. Correct, right? I think part of it was that, for real. And she also, reason for the season. And she said it's a religious holiday. We were very, very much brought up not to ruin the magic for everybody else. The other kids believed in Santa, and that was my mom, I think, was actually respectful about it. And I do not feel ripped off that I didn't believe in Santa Claus. It was just not part of my childhood. I certainly knew what was going on. I mean, I heard of Santa. I saw Santa out there, but we didn't have Santa Claus decorations in our house. Mm-hmm. We had only religious. And I seriously don't feel gypped off to this day. And I have had friends actively try to talk me out of that. Like, tell me what a ripoff that is, that I didn't have any of that magic. And then when we were raising our children, I sort of thought I'd do the same. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, it's not a big deal to me. You just tell them. We can play Santa. We can do the thing. But just like, whatever, live in the truth. Oh, my God, people had opinions about that. Oh, people were so... Friends of mine were alarmed that my kids would tell their kids if that was the case. What the? Oh my God, people had opinions about that. And here, the funny thing is that George Filholm decided to believe in Santa Claus. I kept it kind of chill when they were little, and by about age 3, George was the spirit of Christmas. That kid, he probably still loves it more than I am aware, and I should probably make a bigger deal about the season for him or something. Like, that was a kid who would like sit and stare at the Christmas tree and go, it's so beautiful, as a tiny kid. And he loved Santa, and he loved everything about Christmas, and he was so full of joy. So I went, all right, we're doing Santa now. And I totally played along. I did all the ridiculous things, like when a gift was coming late in the mail, didn't get there, like Rudolph ate the package. I left a note from Santa. I mean, like, I did the whole charade. And then he was like, you never know, like, how old are they when they really, whatever. I don't remember the age, but it was the season of his life where he and Augie would like sit in the back of the car where we were driving home from school, discussing how probably Santa wasn't real and they were going to set up a camera. They were doing that, like, we could set up a camera. We're going to be a grandma and granddad's. We could, and to prove that it's not Santa Claus. They were in that phase of life, right? Mm-hmm. And I heard them talking, and I went, well, boys, you're right. Sis, you're right. And George burst into tears.
Oh, Filholm.
I wrecked it. I felt so terrible. I went to the righteous cat we have talked about who taught religion to you at your high school. We've talked about him several times, and I went to him. He was the head of the religion department at Mullen High School, and I went to him for counsel. Like, I ruined Christmas. What do I do?
What was his sage wisdom?
Oh, he was great. He said, just tell him Santa's real. Santa's real. It's the spirit of Christmas. He's like, I believe in Santa. He's like, just tell him that. It's the spirit of Christmas. I mean, he was very, very kind to me and told me, believe me, this is not the worst thing you'll ever do as a parent. I'm sure it was that kind of a thing.
No.
It was like, yeah, right, exactly. Like, oh, lady. His kids were much older. Like, oh, you don't even know. No, he was just kind and loving about it. And of course, like, forgive yourself, geez, big deal. But also, like, just tell him you can keep believing in Santa as long as you want. Because it's a spirit of generosity and magic and whatever. It was very cute. But I mean, that was just like, I was actually taken aback. I really made a misstep as a parent, and I had no premonition that was going to happen. I seriously was just like, well, yes.
You're like, I'm just going to save you the hassle of getting the camera out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, you know this, and you obviously know, so let's just admit, right? You guys know, right? Oh,
I would make that exact same misstep. I'm not particularly sentimental about Santa Claus.
No, you're not magic thinking.
I'm certainly not. I like to see behind the curtain, and I like to know exactly what's going on.
Right.
And I kind of operate under the I'm having so much trouble finding words. I proceed in my life as if everybody felt the same way, as if they also wanted to know what was going on, which is not true for so many people, especially young George.
I know, right? I once knew a person who was kind of like that, like a logical thinker, but talked about how as a kid, he said, I knew Santa wasn't real, but I figured that it was like he had some idea about what it was. Like he figured it was some global enterprise. Like I get it that these are
this is a put on by the U.S. Postal Service.
And he's like there. Well, I think it wasn't quite that. It was more like there must be a Santa. Big Santa.
There's a corporate Santa.
Corporate Santa.
A CEO Santa.
Right. Like
who has many directors and VPs who are allowed to wear the suit.
That is how the kid justified it to himself as a kid, which cracks me up a lot. I love that. That's like taking the magic and translating it into practical.
Into corporate structure.
I know. He really should have been a businessman, and I don't think he is. He's an artist.
The thing is, though, once you find out what a sham big Santa is, suddenly you start to conflate that with corporations.
I know.
You're going to be a hermit. There's no way you can. There's no way you can live in our society tying up Big Santa with a corporate life.
There's almost no way we can live in our society. I can't. Okay.
We live in a society.
I just find a lot of conversation out there with people very difficult. I just have one last thing. You have said we've had on our list for a couple of weeks now. I have two last things. That you wanted. One of the possible topics that you suggested was Mercury in retrograde.
Yes.
Why did you bring that up?
Because I've been hearing a lot about it, and people tried to discourage me from making large life decisions based on the fact that at the time when all this was set to go down, Mercury was going to be in retrograde. And I wanted to know, because you seem, if you're not an astrology person, you go over well with people who do believe in astrology. Right?
I go over well with them. Is it Whiskers?
It's the cat.
He doesn't listen to the podcast.
Whiskers is such a proponent of magical thinking, and I spend literally every hour of the day with this cat.
I know. He is a proponent of magical thinking.
He's insane. This cat is insane.
I have seen him. He fights shadow creatures. He literally tilts at windmills. He's crazy.
Tilts at windmills. I've heard that before.
I know.
What's that from?
It's well, I know one time that you heard it is when I was writing my book and you were doing editing of the early chapters.
And I probably asked you about it.
And you said, "What the hell is that?" And I said, "It's from Don Quixote."
Fighting imaginary enemies. Huh.
Yes, Andrew. And I told it to you then. That's funny that that's the second time I said tilt at windmills. And I know it's in my book more
you probably
readily.
Just read it.
Exactly right. That's the funny thing is that a lot of the language in my book is right there and ready at hand because I've been reading it out loud. But that's funny because back in 2016, I think, when I was writing on the East Coast, and we were talking stuff through and I was sending you files. And I specifically remember that was one of the notes. That was fun when you were giving me notes on that document.
That was fun. I spent some of that time in Oregon at a brewery. I was working from the brewery.
That's right. You were working on my shit from the brewery and I was working in the Berkshires. Yeah, I remember that. That was fun. Let's do it again. Let's write another book. What should it be? But listen, whatever you want to believe and whatever magical operating system you have in your life, as long as you're not hurting me.
Magical operating system. I like that. Put it in computer terms for me.
Thank you. Whatever, right, your lens on the world, whatever it is, your OS, whatever that is that gets you through, if it is planets or I don't care what you believe, I really don't. Just, do good, don't hurt people, do good. But that's the other last thing. Tomorrow, in real time, listeners, if you're listening on the day of.
Tomorrow, December what?
3.
December 3rd.
Is my book launch party at the Irish Rover Pub. So
heck
if you're
yes.
in Denver or anywhere near, heck, fly in for it tomorrow. Come on down. Do you know what? Right now, actually, it's at capacity.
It's at capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that the person at the gate will not let people in?
No. But we have an Eventbrite and people, and the thing is, like, you haven't responded to it, but I think you're going to be there. A lot of people that I know.
Maybe I didn't.
What?
I said I thought I did. Maybe
did you? Or are you one? Okay, interesting. Because you don't have to. And certainly don't have to. But we have more than we thought. Which is, and I mean, again, that probably means half of those people will show. But there will be people. Whatever. It's just exciting to think that there will be people there.
I'm waiting for the day when you host an event.
Yeah.
And it's at capacity, and they're turning people away at the door, and I can say, "Do you know who I am?"
Right?
And they will.
They sure will.
And they'll let me in. That's the third part. They actually have to let me in.
I mean, I can...
Yes, I know you're Andrew Bridges, co-host of
Andrew.
the hit podcast, Half My Age. Get you the back of the line, sir. That's not what I'm looking for.
I do want to say that it's weird having you sitting in the audience when I'm doing comedy at a place where I can... Yeah. It's a little bit like
I
looking
tried
at
to
my
be
mom.
encouraging.
You were totally encouraging. You were lovely and smart. Of course you were.
I was not giving you judgy Mary
No.
eyes. What did we call it? Disapproving Mary?
Disapproving Mary. No. You were lovely. It's just that your face was right there, and it was just one of them that I saw.
You know, I noticed that I get a lot of eye contact from comedians and people just on stage. And also when I was at school, I got a lot of eye contact from professors. I think I look at them so intently.
Yep.
That they cannot avoid it.
And you do have an affable look on your face.
They're
really
caught by my gaze.
That's right. They're caught by your gaze. That's true. And I do too. I mean, and I pay attention to people like that. And, you nod your head and stuff, like you're agreeing with them because you're rooting for them. So your face was just really out. It was just funny. Like some people, I didn't see a couple of my girlfriends, no idea where exactly they were sitting. Their faces were not popping out at me. But yours was. And wasn't that nice how many people from my former life were there for me? It was really nice. And my current life. But there were Mullen High School teachers there.
Yeah, there was almost an entire English department there.
Was there?
I mean, there were 3 English teachers there, if you count you.
Oh, that's true. That's right. That was so nice. Thanks to everybody who came out. Honestly, that was really fun. Okay, so tomorrow in real time, if you're listening to this podcast, and if not, it's in the past. It was a great event. Book launch for the Teenagers Suck book, Andrew. It's a great stocking stuffer.
Sure
so it's
is.
a great gift for a friend at this time of year. It really is. I just ordered some more copies of it. Oh, by the way, my Mama Bear book has been selling on Amazon. I think probably because of this event or something. People are finding it. Freaking Amazon knocked the price down again.
Huh.
Which matters to me because then that bookstores have to honor that price.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of selling it for $15, they are selling it for $10. And it's because Amazon does that when it gets popular.
Huh.
It's real weird. We've talked
That's interesting.
My computer just got dim. Why is that?
I don't know. It got very dark on your side. We should wrap this up.
Okay, well.
It's getting late.
Yeah, it's getting late. Okay, well, thanks for bringing the ruckus, Mr. Bridges.
You're welcome, Mrs. Filholm. It's nice to talk to you.
Bye, Andrew.
Bye, Mrs. Filholm.